Get ready to blow the dust off. This is History Hunter. History Hunter. We take history seriously, seriously fun, making history 3D, in color, connected. And now, here's your host, Craig Gottlieb.
Over in his refrigerator, he's got a can of Coke and a can of Fanta. A lot of other drinks too, but as a historian, those things jumped right out at me. And I told him, hey, later, Kelly, I'm going to tell you something about Fanta that you're not going to believe. So you ever think, first of all, have you ever had a Fanta? I can't honestly say that I have. I don't know if it's very good, but I'm actually going to try one right now just to see, because I can't really talk with authority about Fanta unless I taste it. Sugary, carbonated, and it tastes like hummingbird nectar, actually. But hey, let's leave that alone for a second, because Coke tastes pretty much the same way. I don't drink Coke. However, Coke was invented, I think, in the 1920s. I could be wrong. And Coke did a crazy thing. Instead of selling drinks, they licensed bottling companies around the world, and they sold the syrup. Massively good business model. And I'm not 100% accurate with that, but that's generally the picture. Okay, Germany was a place that they had bottling plants, and the head of Coke Germany was a smart man. Well, along comes Hitler in the 1930s, and eventually American businesses stopped doing business with Germany for obvious reasons. So they couldn't get the syrup anymore. And so this guy, I think his name was Max Keith, you can look it up. He says, well, how am I going to sell, I got all this stuff. And by the way, Germany was like number 1 or number 2 for consumption of Coke. It was a huge market. So, we can't let a business just die because Hitler's taken over the world and is doing terrible things. Let's not go there. So what he did was he went to his team and he said, look, we can't get the syrup anymore. Come up with something else that we can bottle and sell to the German sugar-loving public, okay? And he says, just use your wildest imagination. And in German, the word for imagination is Fantasie, okay? So he said, use your fantasy. And what they did was they figured, what can we use? Well, we don't have a lot here because we're fighting a war that we started. So they took like scraps of fruit, pretty much anything they could find in quantity, basically trash, and they fermented it into a carbonated beverage, and they created Fanta. The Fanta in Germany didn't really look or taste like the Fanta we have today. Not that I've tasted the Fanta in Germany, and as you know, this is the very first Fanta I've ever tried that I can remember. Hopefully I'll forget it because it really wasn't that good. But in Germany, it was worse. It was cloudy. It was milky. I mean, they were making it out of vats of old fruit, basically. And the word Fanta comes from the German word fantasy. They just said, well, we'll just call it Fanta. Germany lost the war, thank God. After the war, they realized they had a product on their hands, and so the guy in Germany, he brought this recipe to Coke, and they improved it, and that's why we have Fanta today.